Hey, what's up, everyone? We're back on Geological Engineering Part 2. I think when we left off on the last video, we were talking about the Sumerians finally touching down on the planet Earth, or not the Sumerians, but the Anunnaki, sorry. Finally um, coming to the Earth and finally descending. And once they descended, they brought these Ijiji, who are, as I said before, they're the same thing as the Watchers and Guardian Angels and things of the same thing. It's all the same thing as I'm gonna lay out for you here eventually. It takes time. That's why I make these videos somewhat short, so that the information that I relay to you, you can let it absorb, think about it, meditate on it. But anyways, the Sumerians, according to the Sumerians, the Anunnaki had conquered this warring race of like reptile-like beings. They really weren't human-esque, and this is also going to play into the reptilians here as I come further on. We're going to have some videos about the reptilians. But the thing is, there's also texts and banned books from the Bible and books that did not make the canonical texts. They were kept out of the Bible because when you withhold information from people, they don't get the whole story, so they don't really understand what's going on. So the Ajiji have been conquered. The Anunnaki have enslaved them. So they come to the earth and they force these Ajiji into a servitude where they are forced to work in these harsh, heinous, dirty, just grueling conditions, beneath the earth. And they did this for many millennia, many millennia, because at one point in time you have a place where, see, Jupiter has a very elliptical orbit, so it's kind of very ovular in shape. Its closest orbit to the Earth comes right around when it's passing between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. That's generally when they would send their spacecraft to their bases on Mars and to their bases on the Moon. Once they were there, it was an easy transition to make it to the Earth. So on Mars, the Anunnaki had actually forced these Ajiji again to be employees, basically. Well, they're not employees because they really weren't getting anything of value that I know of. They weren't really oppressed, I guess, in some sense. I guess you had your hierarchy of serfs, probably like you do in any culture. They probably have statuses of slavery, where some people have easier work than others. But eventually they rebelled. And Anu is God of all things. He is the same thing as the god Ra, the invisible one. He is symbolic of this. The sun is a symbol of him. It's a symbol to express an invisible truth. Because just like God gives light and life to all of his creation, so too does the sun give light and life to everything within its radius. So it's metaphorical. A lot of things that you'll read in a lot of these books, a lot of it's metaphorical, but it has a very deep spiritual meaning. That's why I say we're going to get deep into spirituality, and I think you guys will enjoy some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. Just sit back, relax, and listen. That's all it's about, is seeking truth. We're truth seekers. And we seek truth to its very kernel before we accept anything or swallow it whole. Now, Anu, God of all, had two sons. He had one son named Enlil, and he had another son named Enki. Enki means Earth Lord, and Enlil means Lord of the Sky. So Enlil would have been Lord of the Heavens, and Enki would have been the Lord of the Earth. And as I will break down for you guys later, Enki is the same thing as Cain from the Bible. He's the same thing as Lucifer. He's the same thing as Prometheus in the Greeks. And I would challenge anyone, any scholar, or any, and I will get into a debate live, video chat. I do this for a living. And like I say, I do not receive all of my information from common media sources. I delve to the very source of things. I like to verify things with at least 3 different sources before I even begin to give it credibility. So if you guys are interested, please like. We're going to get more into what the Ajiji did when they rebelled. They rebelled against Enlil because Enlil was kind of a tyrant, and Enki was actually played part in the manufacturing of the human race, which hasn't yet come at this point, but they are coming here soon. We're going to talk about the hybridization of the human race when the Anunnaki mixed their DNA with a hominin species from Africa. And when they did, they created their first surf. I hope you guys like. Please follow and join me again in the next video.